Beerus Rangers, here is Lord Beerus, and he looks really cool. I really like this. I like the way the ears are not kind of like on tilts or have kind of articulation. They kind of like point straight up. I didn't notice the ring in the anime, but this really stands out, obviously with the gold and the purple. The way that his face is sculpted, he looks kind of like menacing, and it looks like his eyes are piercing your soul. We have the nose where it's all been kind of carved, and then when we move down to his kind of neck, again you've got a golden necklace. I quite like the way that it's coming into. It looks like a shield effectively, but it's just kind of what he wears in the actual anime. Now, if we look back at the ears, you can see there's more sculpting to kind of bring it to life, and I like this. I think this is possibly one of my favourite ones, but like kind of anti-hero, bad guy, good guy, you know, the kind of mix that we don't know within Dragon Ball Super. As we come down to the lower torso, and as well the arms, the gold really stands out. I'm guessing with the colour scheme of purple and gold. I really like the kind of, as I say, shield, because you see the detail that's gone on with the orange diamond. And one thing I'm not really a big fan of is the ribs, because it just looks kind of really weird to me. But they've also included that sash, which is possibly the exact same ones on all the other ones, and it's kind of belt, kind of like sashy thing that moves down here. It's kind of faded gold near the top, which I kind of thought would be one colour, but it's okay. I do like the blue that's on his actually trousers, but it all really kind of works in. The joints look like they're exactly the same as all the others. The arm joints, they're absolutely fine, so I'm wondering if the back is going to be the ones I don't like, as you all know. As we move down, we've got more of a gold trim, like a ring around his kind of boots, which kind of look a little bit like Piccolo's to me in a way, like the same sort of shape and style. When we look here, we've got a diamond, which is orange, which complements the two white. When we look around here at the kind of the trousers, it looks a little bit different than normal, so it looks like it could be a brand new sculpt for this one, and not just like, say, Goku's build and stuff like that, or Gohan's. Now I've had to zoom out on this one so we can get quite a lot in. So on the back, I really like what brings it out on the top up near his head is the way that they've sculpted kind of skin crease for where his ears are. So like they could move, but again, I'm glad they've not articulated it. Here we can again, it looks again like a shield, but obviously it's his clothes, and it kind of reminds me a little bit like the Dino Charged Megazord for some strange bizarre reason, just the top part. We can see here that you can move the arms if you want to, and the ends will move, so it's not kind of restricted. We have the gold brace around here, and then it kind of moves in towards the sash, and again the kind of the arm joints. We can see there's muscle definition here, and just over here on his arms and his back, which is kind of cool. I really like that. See, this has got the same sort of tail holder like Golden Frieza, which that review is coming very soon. But this is the second time, I think it may be on the first time on the video on Frieza that I said that this is the first one, but this is the second time that I've actually seen this. So the tail goes straight in, which we'll show later. As we move down to his kind of legs, again it's kind of sculpted differently, and again they're using this sort of kind of things that I don't like. I really don't like this kind of hollowed outness for his legs, but I can understand that they have to use it for the joint. But again, I'm not a huge fan, as we know that the legs kind of stick with this, so I'm hoping this figure will have something slightly different. The gold kind of works really, really well, and it reminds me of Golden Frieza, that sort of colour scheme. As we move down here, we can see that the legs are kind of really, really smooth, and to me it looks like plasticine, purple plasticine, for some strange bizarre reason. The boots remind me a lot of Piccolo's and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which we've looked at previously, and I do like the gold kind of ring around it. There's no kind of definition on like socks or different colours, it just literally goes straight in there. It would be nice to see if he actually had socks in the anime, but apart from that, it looks absolutely fine. With all figures, we see that it has a stress test. So the boots move fine, and to be honest, they work a lot better than I thought they would. I thought they would be you couldn't move them. But the shoes move like that. The legs move very similar. They're a little bit stiff, but again, this is a brand new figure that's come out. It feels like it gets kind of stuck around about here, that you can't move it around. Again, on that one. Now the legs bend, which look a little bit different, and kind of when you pose it like that, it kind of makes the figure look more kind of evil, kind of like he means serious business. So the joints come out like that. And absolutely fine, it doesn't stick, so I like that. His torso area is absolutely fine, it moves around backwards and forwards and all around in a 360, and again his arms kind of feel stiff, but that could just be the fact that it's normal. It feels like it is restricted to some degree, just like so. Like it doesn't go all the way up, so I'm not a big fan of that one. Kind of bend like so, and bend like so on that one. His head moves around, and obviously he can come off because there's other faces to him. So in all, it's not too bad moving wise, and it does look menacing each way. So let's have a look at all the accessories that you get with them. With Beerus, you don't get quite a lot. You only get kind of basics. You get 2 heads, a tail, and different hands. I would have liked a few other things, maybe some food because he's always going on about how much he wants, or maybe some pudding. I think that would have been quite clever. So I'm hoping with Whis, when he comes out, he has some extra accessories for Lord Beerus. As with all figures, we see what it is with different heads. So we've seen the other figures. Now, you just pull off his head, which is quite easily, and then we'll put on his kind of yawny face. So we see here, it just looks really lazy when he's like that. So we see this is his kind of yawny face. I had to make sure that when I looked, I had to put it in properly due to his head, because mainly it didn't click, and I don't think this one did. So with his yawny mouth, we can see his teeth are just pretty much like a cat's, and he just yawns. I don't really like this one. It reminds me of Elder Kai, I think. I'm not a really big fan of him. Here we are. So this kind of face I quite like, because it looks like he's going to attack, and then he's firing energy blasts. So it's not too bad. I kind of really wish they put in one where he's kind of the same as like with kind of wide eyes, and they're like, I want that food, or I want that pudding. I think that would be really, really cool to have this figure. I'm hoping that Whis will come with like a different head for him. I think that would be quite cool because Whis is a web exclusive. But apart from this kind of gives it a little bit more kind of feel and anger, so it looks like when he fires his energy blast, it actually works quite well. With Beerus's tail, very similar to Frieza, it's literally just plug in like that, and then you have kind of movability to some degree. Nope, it comes out, pop it all the way in like that, so push it all the way in. It doesn't make a click, which I wish it did, so then you could tell, but his tail moves up and down, very similar, so you can actually give us a little bit more posability. I think the Frieza tail didn't do really well, but I quite like Beerus's tail a lot, so it just looks really cool. Again, it looks very similar to Plasticine. So there we go, Rangers, there is Lord Beerus, and I have to say he's a nice figure. I'm glad I've gotten for my collection. I'm not overly excited, nor am I disappointed in this figure. I do think that he could have come with a few more accessories, and it would have been nice to actually have him have like a what face if he saw food. If you're collecting it for sake of collecting, I would add him to your collection. If you're casually collecting, yes, I would possibly pick him up, especially if you want Whis, who comes out in, I think, near the end of the year, who's a web exclusive, but I would kind of recommend him. So your question of the day, Rangers, is, would you get him, yes or no? What are your thoughts about Beerus? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out Yada Games, all that lovely goodness, and as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.